Welcome to Transmissions, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers. On this episode, DNA Design has a new upgrade kit for Rise of the Beasts Scourge, Titan Fort Max is back, and we get a first look at a new version of Bumblebee that's a little more animated. Today is Wednesday, September 20th, 2023, and this is episode 556 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that's ready to host Hasbro PulseCon next year, baby. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
Creator, producer, and star of Empire of Rust, editor Mike.
If only PulseCon turned into HasCon again, I could go to a convention.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
We're all here. Look at that. Amazing. Let's hope that this keeps going for a long time now. Let's talk Transformers.
I don't want to mention that I have to go on a business trip next week.
No. We're all here and we're staying here. Live stream. We're not stopping. Yeah, we're not. It's going to be a live stream. We're not stopping.
Well, as always, the reason we're here is because of our Donatreons. Those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you all so much for continuing to help us out and keep the show going. It's because of you that we can do this every week, and that most of us show up most of the time. But we'll always have a show. There'll always be at least one person here to keep the show going. But yeah, if you are interested in continuing in contributing and supporting the show, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and that's where you can sign up. We got some bonus content. We give away merchandise at the higher levels. We say your name on the show every week if you go at the really high level. And we just do things to help support our fans, because we appreciate them and we appreciate your support. So check that out. And speaking of bonus content, of course, you can check out our bonus show, We Like Big Bots. Got 10 episodes of that already available on our Patreon page. You can check that out. It's a YouTube video show done by Daryl and Dr. Pants, where they talk about some big bots that they have. So, they have fun going over all their toy collections. It's a real treat to see two big toy guys going head to head. Hopefully we're getting some more of that coming soon. Right, Daryl? We got an update on the next Big Bots recording session.
Wait, I want to go back up a bit. What do you mean by two big toy guys? Are you commenting on our size? Just because you're not a large person anymore doesn't mean that you get to comment on our size.
I mean,
sir,
your toy collections are large. That's what I meant, Daryl.
That's true. Okay.
And the bots themselves are big, right? Am I insulting the bots themselves by calling them big?
Bots are always big, and the bots bring the bigness. We have some biggie collections. It's all big all the time, and yeah, we might be some big boys. So yeah, but we have some fun, and Dr. Pants and I are still working away at getting some episodes out. It's funny because I was away for so many weeks. Once you get back, it's like your family wants you to be around and do stuff. So I got to find a way to get away from them now. So we'll see.
Good luck with that.
Thanks.
All right. Well, we'll check that out, and hopefully we'll have some more episodes coming soon. Next up, of course, we have our Transformers live play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. We just wrapped up season 2 of the storyline, And we do have a bit of an announcement. So it's already available in the Empire of Rust feed that just came out this week, transmissionspodcast.com/rust. But Mike's here. So Mike, why don't you tell everyone how things are going and a little bit of a transition that's happening with Empire of Rust just for the next little while.
Yeah, sure. So we are going to be going on a couple of week hiatus for Empire of Rust, for at least for the main story. I've had some stuff going on in my personal life. I'm going to be moving pretty soon, so I need to take some time to actually get things together before we start season 3. I do not want to stop the show, so no fear on that. Season 3 is coming, and it's going to be amazing. I just need to actually find some time to do some writing for the thing, because otherwise we wouldn't have much of a show. But in the meantime, what we're going to do...
Empire of Rust has writers?
hey, this is my only professional writing credit here.
But you're not in my profession, so you're still having to work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I didn't get my SAG card, so Anyway, so what we're doing is Matt has generously volunteered to GM for a little while, and he's going to be running this little side story called the Rustford Files. And Matt is a really great GM. He is just off the wall great with improv. So for a couple of weeks, we're going to have this side story that Matt's going to be running, and I'm actually going to be playing in it, which that hasn't happened in like 4 years. So it's good for me. But yeah. So
would you say this is a really good jumping on point for people?
Oh yeah, totally.
So I should start here.
Yeah. Are you?
This would be the funniest thing, is that this is where I start.
Go for it, Daryl. It'll entice you, and then you'll want to go back and do the back catalog. You'll get so invested, you'll be like, I want to go back.
You were talking to me off air last week about some upcoming home renovations and stuff. So,
it's true. They started this weekend.
You have a back catalog if you ever need to do some house painting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. And it would be a good way to block the wife out of my ears.
There you go.
Ouch.
That should be our new tagline, Empire of Rust. It blocks your significant other.
Yep.
I've met your wife. She's a lovely person, Daryl.
She is. Yep. But she's grabbed this renovation thing with both hands, and it's gotten expensive already. So anyway, Rustford Files.
Yeah. I'll expect a report from you, Daryl, soon enough to what you think of it. So good. We'll go from there. But yeah, so that's going to be starting. I believe it's starting next Monday, right, Charles? If that's I got right.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing same schedule as before, every 2 weeks, and we're just going to episode from there. It is going to be a little bit, I don't want to say rougher, but a little bit more raw, just because I need a break from everything to get all my stuff taken care of. So it's going to be minimal sound design, minimal editing to it. So there's going to be a lot of that kind of cutting room floor stuff that you're used to from the bonus episodes of Empire Rust kind of left in there. So I think it'll be a fun time.
Yep.
It's a more rusty edit.
Now with
zing
20% more rust. For you audio listeners, Daryl has just peaced out.
But Mike, the one thing that got me with the Rustford Files is that I was surprised to find out that someone besides me actually remembered that old cop show, The Rockford Files. So.
I remember it, but unlike you, I saw it in reruns.
Wow. That's why I'm going to be gone for the next 2 weeks.
That was easy pickings. Sorry.
Matt will be Matt'll be very appreciative that his joke hasn't gone unnoticed. Have you listened to the first episode yet, there, Charles?
I have not. I didn't get a chance to, but I just listened to like the first like couple of minutes intro where I was hoping that I was going to hear the Rockford Files theme song, but we probably would have gotten a copyright strike for that. So unfortunately, it was just some license free music. But I will definitely be listening this week before the show goes up. So yeah,
excellent.
All right. Before we get into Toy Talk, of course, we've got our Toy Hacks code for September. So that's still available. If you want to get 15% off your entire order at toyhacks.com, you can use our code TFMPOD09. So again, that's TFMPOD09. And that's a great deal. If you want to get any labels at toyhacks.com, just use that code and you'll get 15% off your order. There is no limit or capacity for that. You can use it with multiple orders, with a single big order, any way you like. And it cannot be combined with any other promo codes, but you can use your Robo Points with it. You can also use our $10 gift code if you won one of the monthly Toy Hacks drawings. So get even more bang for your buck with that 15% off. And of course, we got to remind you, we are selling our exclusive Transformers #1 with the cover by artist EJ Sue. This is available on our website at transmissionspodcast.com/comic. And please check that out. As soon as we get those shipped to us, we will start shipping those out on the street date. So, those will start going out on October 4th. And you'll be getting them soon after that. And thanks for supporting us. Of course, you can get just that comic, or you can also bundle that with our previous Till All Are One exclusive from a few years ago. And we're selling that at a discount if you bundle that with the new comic. So check that out.
And we just removed the shipping restriction where we were limiting it to 1 per order. Now, if you want to order 10, you can do it.
Yep.
Or
don't scalpers stay away, but,
right.
but enthusiasts, if you want to buy more than one, you can. But yeah, and thanks to everyone who's bought one already. We have had a lot of orders come in, so we're appreciative of that. Yeah. And we will make sure that those all go out as soon as possible, as soon as we get the comics. And again, on October 4th, we can't send them out before October 4th. So
yeah, but I'm surprised at how many have been orders of the bundle with the old comic too. So that's great to see.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, let's jump right into some Toy Talk with quick hits.
All right, and first up this week, we have another one of those Kang Toys mini figures. This is the prototype of King Mini. This is CY Mini 04, and it is the mini version of their Razor Claw. Yeah, Razor Claw. So the centerpiece or torso of Predaking. And for this particular figure, it's only half of the torso because of the way that they've built this thing. This is only the top half. So it does include the chest and the head, as well as those back cannons that Predaking has become kind of famous for. And it's looking really good. Remember that this is the mini version. So there's no size on this, but it's pretty small. So this is basically it's a shrunken down. We've talked about these before. It's the shrunken down version of their original.
There's a good one.
Scaled size. You have you've got one there. Great. So yeah, it's I want to say core class or legend scaled. Something in that range. But it is pretty cool. The fact that they've done this and it still looks amazing in this scale is unreal. So yeah, take a look at this. If this is something that you're interested in, it's becoming available soon. We got prototypes.
All right. Next thing we have is another upgrade kit from DNA Design. This is DK46, and it is for Studio Series Leader Rise of the Beasts Scourge figure. It has a new head, arms, and some other parts that make it more accurate to the movie. And it's estimated to be released in December. And I looked at it, and Big Bad Toy Store has it for pre-order at $44, which I think is pretty decent for the number of pieces and like what you're getting here. If you can see the before and after here, it's a better looking mask. It looks like a side piece that might also be a little filler, and
It's a butt plate. It's a butt plate.
A butt plate.
Yep.
Okay. And then it looks like a crotch plate as well. So, and then he has some like this arm energy weapon that used, as well as some leg pieces and a better looking claw. So I think all in all, this makes the figure look much, much better. And as the thing said, it's much closer to the way he looked in the movie. So I think that's really cool. Oh, and it also includes a little thing that he shot in the air razor to can infect her. And look, there's a picture here of how it can attach to the air razor figure. So I mean, these people at DNA Design do such great work. And this is just another example. And here's a good before and after shot. And I think it looks so good.
The head alone.
Yeah. It doesn't have that big neck that the original figure has. So
interesting.
Here we go. That that might be something that I actually get, since I do have that Studio Series Scourge now, and it'd be fun to mess with.
All right, next up, we have more info on Hasbro PulseCon that's coming this Friday, September 22nd, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's going to be hosted by Thu Adams and Dan Larson of Toy Galaxy. So I hope it looks like they're letting them actually participate in the PulseCon this year. I remember Thu did the pre-show last year and they shuffled them off when they actually did the real PulseCon, but it seems like now Thu and Dan Larson are going to be tag teaming and basically emceeing the whole show. So that's great. Really great to see them getting to getting fans really involved in the PulseCon, and looking forward to all the stuff they're going to show off. They've already announced one of the exclusives for PulseCon for Transformers. It's the Hot Shot. So that's the the Power Links Hot Shot and Armada Universe Jolt. So finally an Armada figure with their Minicon. So that's hopefully that gives us a trend that future Armada Armada homages will get their Minicon with them. So not clear like what the order is going to be for the show. I mean, they list them here, but I don't know if that's going to be the order that they show them during the event. But
they usually announce a schedule.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen one.
Maybe by the time this podcast is out, there'll already be a schedule. But of course, with Hasbro, you've got Transformers, G.I. Joe, Marvel, Star Wars, Magic the Gathering, Power Rangers, and Dungeons and Dragons. So look forward to that. Of course, we are going to be pretty focused on the Transformers content, and we'll see what gets announced. Maybe the next HasLab might make an appearance here. Maybe we'll see. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Next up, we got a reissue, or I should say a pre-order for the reissue of the Titans Return Fort Max. This was the Titans Return figure, and for the most part, it's just going to be exactly the same as it was before. But this figure has also been, what is it, like almost 6-7 years now, like out of print. So if you missed it, this is a great opportunity to pick that up again. This is the Hasbro version, not the Takara version. I remember when I picked up mine, there was a lot of kind of fan chatter about the Takara version, which is more traditionally in the Fort Max colors. So this one is definitely the Hasbro one. But yeah, it's going to be coming back. You can get it at pretty much any of the online retailers, TF Source, Big Bad, Robot Kingdom, wherever you're going to go. But yeah, if you didn't pick it up back then, you can pick it up now. Price tag is $200, so a bit of a jump from the original. But if you're missing out, you have the chance to grab it.
It's a significant drop in price for what the original ones have been going for. So $200 is a steal. I think the original ones have been going for $5. So
really, wow,
yeah. And as soon as they announced that they were doing this, because it was a remold of the Metroplex, people started shouting from the mountaintops for Metroplex. So will they do a Metroplex? Maybe. I hope not, because that means my Metroplex is worth a fortune right now. So
You're not going to sell it, so
I'll never sell it.
I didn't even realize that my Fort Max is worth a fortune.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Although
my Fort Max that I have is the Takara one. So.
Oh, nice. I was just going to ask if anyone actually did pick up the Takara paint job one.
Yeah, I have that one. It looks good.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next up we have another Beast Wars versus 2-pack from Takara, and this is Air Razor versus Predacon Inferno. This has these are the more recent like Kingdom figures, but they have the classic colors, and this is obviously the Takara release, but it looks really cool. They have 2 character cards as well, but this is all Japanese. And you can get it at any of the normal retailers. I believe Hasbro Pulse as well. It's not on this thing, but I believe Hasbro Pulse has been selling these. And I just gotta say that Inferno, the head sculpt is amazing. It's just like right off the screen. I love it. But anyway, yeah, if you're interested in getting these, this will help finish up your Beast Wars lineup. So check it out.
All right. Well, that's all our toy topics. So that's all our quick hits topics. So let's move on to our main discussion topic. Okay. Now we've got another leak for one of the upcoming toys in the Hasbro Legacy line. Looks like they are continuing to add in some animated characters from Transformers Animated. And we've got a Transformers Animated Bumblebee. So it's very interesting. And of course, this figure is, I guess, quote unquote, G1ified for like the way they've been kind of stylizing all the Legacy figures, regardless of what universe they come from. They've been kind of making them a little bit more like G1-esque. And this Bumblebee here, is a little bit blockier than the kind of more sleek animated version. But the face sculpt, I think, is very much in line with the original Transformers Animated Bumblebee, and the accessory with the Stinger weapon accessory looks pretty cool too. And one thing I do like about this Bumblebee is that the chest is the actual car hood. Like if you look at the original animated toy Bumblebee that my kids had and played with, the chest, on the robot mode was not the actual hood for the car, of course, because the proportions in animated were a bit wonky, so they just didn't work out for going to robot mode. But this figure kind of takes since it's a little bit blockier, it's able to do that. So that's nice for me, at least. I don't know if people are pining for the more kind of exaggerated animated proportions in these figures. or if they just like to see the new reissue of the figure and see an homage to the character from the cartoon that they loved as a kid. So I know a lot of the younger fans who are now in their like early to mid 20s grew up with Transformers animated and remember that fondly. So hopefully this is something for them. But I think it looks cool. It's a cool looking figure. I mean, I know it's yet another Bumblebee, but this is a unique Bumblebee, so I think that it gets a pass for being another Bumblebee in the line. So, Mike, what do you think of this figure? Were you a fan of animated, and is this something that you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I definitely was a fan, or I still am a fan of animated. I still got like all the figures that I picked up from that line. I think this is going to be a pass for me. I do like the head sculpt. I think it is very, very animated feeling, and I like the kind of the more express. First off, I love the expressiveness of animated's designs. And I do like when that kind of expressiveness comes in on the reimagined versions. That being said, I don't really like the idea of just kind of G1ifying it or kind of boxifying an aesthetic that was very smooth and very like trim.
Mm-hmm.
It's and I'm sure like everyone's made like these arguments before, but if you're going to reissue like or redesign an animated character, then stick with the animated aesthetic, because that's kind of one of the big things that made it really popular and made it really well known. So, like I said, it's definitely a pass for me. I do like the head aesthetic though. That's cool. I just wish they didn't have to kind of G1ify the body a bit. It's like it's not really necessary. Just add some extra engineering to it, and maybe a bit more articulation. Keep with the accessories. Actually, I think are really cool. Like the jetpack things he comes with and the stingers he comes with. Those are really neat. And I do like that they're doing that. But yeah, like you don't really need to do a G1ified version of it. You can stick with the animated aesthetic. Yeah.
I mean, I think you could probably level that criticism at the entire legacy line. They've done this with a lot of characters from different eras. So I don't know why they're pretty focused on that. I mean, but yeah, that's how it is.
It's a bit disappointing, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Jeremy, what do you think of this?
I really like it. I never had an animated Bumblebee, but I think this, like you said, the head sculpt is perfect. The boxy design doesn't really bother me so much, probably because it didn't have the original toy. And I think it's obviously going to be a smaller toy, but for the size, they're doing a lot with it. And then I wish we had one of the bigger pictures here with the alt mode, because I can show you the picture here with the alt mode. I think the alt mode really does resemble how he looked in the show. And I think they did a pretty good job on this all around, although it does look like his jetpacks are upside down in that picture. So that wouldn't be good for him. But it's, but it's just, I think, you're going to have to accept that they're doing this with the animated series or with the toys, but he fits in good with the Prowl, and as long as they get the head and the expression right, I think that goes a long way. So, it's great seeing a different Bumblebee that's not a Camaro. That he's kind of just a hatchback, smaller hatchback car, and I think they did a really good job with it.
Cool. And Daryl, come to you. What do you think of this figure?
Yeah, so I do have an awful lot of animated figures still. And one of them is Bumblebee. And the best thing for me about the animated figures was that they looked exactly like they did in the cartoon. And for me, as a toy guy and engineer kind of nerd, it was like magic that they were able to pull that off. And I appreciated that. Some of them weren't great figures. They kind of were, the ball joints didn't hold. They were all really kind of loose. But for me, I just was amazed that they were able to pull off the look of the figures in the cartoon in physical form. And Bumblebee was one of those figures because his proportions were crazy, but it worked. And then you could actually transform the damn thing, and it looked like the little yellow car in the show. And really, that's a testament to the design that Derek J. Wyatt gave to all the characters in the show, and the fact that they could all work, and the toy engineers behind the scenes that I would love to know their names because they really deserve a lot of credit. But these figures here, the Prowl that they've done already, and then this Bumblebee, they're probably great figures, and people who are just coming to animated now and seeing it for the first time, they're going to be great figures for you to pick up and to use as fill-ins or whatnot for your animated collection. But the originals are still out there. They're still out there, and they're cheap. There are outliers that are going to be pretty expensive, but the most part, they're going to be relatively cheap. And Bumblebee is one of them that is dirt cheap. So you can go out there and you can get the original figure and you experience it, and it looks identical to what they look like in the show. And I can't recommend that enough. This figure here is a great looking figure. It's probably engineered very, very well, and it's going to be a fun toy. If you're a Bumblebee fan, pick it up. If you're getting it because it's an animated figure, it's not an animated figure. It's an animated homage, if anything. So I'm going to pass on this. One, because I have a significant animated collection already, and I don't need a new Bumblebee. But I fully expect them to use this mold in other ways. It was said in the chat that there's going to be a Wasp. That's cool. Probably, I fully expect them to do a whole bunch of different repaints of this in all the different Bumblebee, colors that they did, Wasp and Glyph and all the other ones that kind of got done in that show. But it's a pass for me. But I don't, I don't beseech anybody for getting it. It's probably going to be a great figure.
Cool. All right. Well, that's our main topic. That's all our toy talk. So we'll move on to trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
Okay, and of course, Trips to the Store is powered by our friends at TeePublic. So you can check out our TeePublic store at transmissionspodcast.com/TeePublic, where you can buy all our Transmissions merchandise, cool shirts like the one I've got on right now, like the one Jeremy's got on too. And not the one Mike has. But you can check out all our shirts, all our designs at TeePublic, and you can get other merchandise too with our logos and stuff on there as well. Of course, you don't have to buy Transmissions merchandise. You can buy any TeePublic merchandise from that link, and that will still help out the show. So just go to transmissionspodcast.com/TeePublic to check it out and help us out. Okay, well, let's start off with what we got. So I'm going to start off first because I don't have any new stuff, but I did open one of my toys. I know, shocking. I was watching Transmissions last week with Daryl and Jeremy, and Daryl was showing his Origins Jazz, and I was like, oh yeah, that Origins Jazz. I did get that as well. So I finally opened my Origins Jazz. I picked it up. I transformed it. So this is the hover car mode for Jazz. Looks very, very, very not much like the version in the More Than BCI episode 1 animated, the first animated G1 episode. My one complaint for this Origins Jazz is that the arms are just kind of sticking out at the bottom here, like you can see They're they kind of poke out there, and they're just hanging out there. They don't really do anything. So it's a little bit weird. But other than that, I mean, everything else looks really nice, and the transformation for Jazz is pretty intuitive, pretty nice, and it goes great with my Origins Bumblebee. So these guys are really cool. So I got space for an Origins Wheeljack, so we're waiting for that Origins Wheeljack to come out next year and complete the set here. So yeah, these are cool.
But will it fit the Bumblebee inside of it?
That would be interesting if it was a big enough figure for that. That would break the size class for the other ones. But I'm more interested to see whether it'll have that blast shield, that removable blast shield that Wheeljack had. So I'm curious about that. But yeah,
will it be able to hold all Energon rods?
Well, they can't.
What was it? Were they rods or scrubbers?
Yeah, they were rods.
They were energy conductors. That's what they called them. But those came with the Origins Bumblebee, so
I know.
I've got them ready.
He had no place to hold them. He's got to have somewhere. Somebody's got to hold these damn things.
All right, that's what I got. So Jeremy, you're up next.
All right. So I finally opened up another thing that I have shown off a few weeks ago as well. The Legacy Evolution 2-pack, The Rise of Tyranny, with Senator Shockwave and Minor Megatron. And one thing, you can't really... Well, I guess you can see it on Shockwave, a little symbol on his chest. And one thing I noticed when I opened it up is there are two faction logos here. Megatron doesn't have it, but that is a Synticon logo, which I think this is the first toy we've had that references that that faction from the IDW 2.0 continuity. So that was pretty cool. And so Shockwave, he's based off of, I think the what is it?
Scourge.
The Scourge, yeah. So he's pretty good.
That's Ratbat, not Shockwave.
Oh, sorry. I was saying Shockwave the entire time. Ratbat, yeah. Shockwave was in the other 2-pack. But yeah, he has the Senate logo on his chest, which is blurry. Yeah. Oh well. But anyway, he has the Senate logo on his chest right there. He's got a good base to build off of with the Scourge, and I think he looks great. The colors are fantastic. The wings are a little fiddly at times, but I think it looks really good going along with the Senator Shockwave. But really, the reason I really got this was the Megatron. He does not have the Synticon logo on him. At least I couldn't find one, but it kind of makes sense because the Minor Megatron is more early IDW, like Megatron Origins. And he looks really good. I don't know if it'll get in on his head there.
What mold is that based off of?
A Megatron mold. Is it Siege, I think?
I think it's the same one that the G2 Megatron is done off. I think it's just the it's not Siege. It was the run right after that. What was between Siege and Kingdom? Earthrise. Yeah, Earthrise Megatron.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty good. The knees seem to be a little bit weak on mine, but he's got mining attachment, which can also attach to the end of his axe there. I think the colors on the axe are really nice. But yeah, this is just going to be a nice set to display. Just having the two and kind of like mimic the box art with the two going at it. But yeah, this I don't know if I've had this. I have a Siege Megatron, but I don't think I've had the Earthrise. So it'll be good to have this. But just the paint details on this just bring me back to that Megatron Origins. So that's great.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Okay, let's move on to Mike.
So as I said before, I am moving, so a lot of stuff that I have is packed up, and even then, I haven't really gotten a whole lot of new stuff over the summer. but I did pull something out of the vault, and by the vault I mean just on a shelf behind me, and it is a beach ball. Doo-doo.
That's no beach ball.
Doo-doo. This is the Star Wars Death Star Transformer, and if you haven't transformed this, you're in for a treat. It is complicated, but when you look at it, though, like all of these panels, like they all line up perfectly, and this is like the roundest transformer I have ever seen in my life. It's even got like little like feet stands for it too that you can kind of just lay it on a shelf. So that's kind of cool, and these little stands kind of just fit right back in there. I'm not going to try transforming this on camera just because we don't have like 20 minutes to do it. But it is extraordinarily fun. And it is, I think, the last Star Wars Transformer that I still have. I got rid of the other ones just because like the Star Wars line wasn't really known for quality figures. It was just, yeah.
Batteries still working that, or did you take them out?
I took them out.
Okay.
But last time I checked them, they did work.
Good.
Has there been an issue or anything with it? Like, they just stopped working over time?
No. I mean, same issue as always. It's just you leave them in, they stop working. Yeah. So, yeah. And do you have all the like the lasers that go to the middle? You got those?
That actually never came with that. It did come with a kind of a lightsaber. It came with a missile launcher that had like one green, like transparent green missile that goes out.
Yeah.
Came with a couple of figures of Darth Vader, I think some stormtroopers, a TIE fighter, and a couple of like really tiny models of TIE fighters too that you could attach to it, which is kind of a cool thing to have for a figure like this. Between this one and the Millennium Falcon, I think, are probably the two winners in that line.
The Millennium Falcon is the tough one to get now because it has gold plastic on the elbows of Chewbacca.
Oh,
I think.
Did it?
So many of them have come into the store that I work on, and they all have broken elbows.
Yeah, mine. I had that. Mine fell apart before I had ink.
Friend of mine.
Plastic was.
A friend of mine has one. And I think it's just like in a box in the basement somewhere. So I'm willing to bet it might have fallen apart too.
Tell him to leave it there. If it hasn't been touched, it's probably fine.
Schrodinger's Transformer.
Yep. Awesome. Actually, I got one little other quick thing that I can kind of show off. I pulled these out of my my details, my display cabinets, and these are the PVC figures, the like the Heroes of Cybertron, or
nice.
the Japanese version of that. And what I had done is the racks that I had, or the shelves that I had up on in my detail, like I would have some like third party figures, and I would just pepper these little guys around with it. So I had like the Fans Toys Cerebros, and I had like this little like mini Cerebros with them. I had like the Masterpiece Hot Rod and the PVC Hot Rod up there as well. So
cool.
It was kind of neat to do that, to have like the higher end, like the heavier figures, and then have like a bunch of little small ones kind of around. It was kind of a neat little display. I look forward to putting that back together.
Cool.
It's always a fun day when you get to set up your stuff again.
Very true.
Or days.
Or weeks.
You're very right.
All right, Daryl, I think we're ending with you. By the way, I transformed my Jazz, so here's robot mode origin Jazz with his little what is it, the grappling hook thing attachment. It's neat.
I'll try transforming my Darth Vader, and we'll be done by the end of the show.
All right, so I've still got something here from TFCon that I haven't shown off yet. It's been a while, but I picked this thing up from a booth that I found out that was selling off some of the personal collection of the organizer, Mr. Colin Douglas. So this is X-Transbot's Arcos, which is their beachcomber. And I know I don't have the knees done right. These little gray pieces are supposed to be on the bottom. I haven't done it right. There's no instructions that came with this thing, and he's not complete. Apparently, he's supposed to have a parrot. He doesn't have a parrot. So I'm missing the parrot and I'm missing the instructions. Most of the time, I don't need the instructions, but the legs on this particular figure are insane. They're absolutely insane. There's like a million moving parts with these legs and posts out the back for some reason. So I haven't gotten it transformed right yet, but I'm working on it. And like everyone knows, I've been out of town for a significant part of August and just kind of getting back into the swing of things now. It looks like a cool figure. I don't have a Masterpiece scaled beachcomber back there, so that's why I bought it. It was significantly cheaper than it would have been new. And I have no interest in chasing down like Fans Hobby or Fans Toys version, just because, people like those. I just wanted a version to kind of put in the shelf with the rest of them. So I picked this guy up. And it came from Colin, so now I have one of his figures. So that's kind of cool. The last thing I have is something that showed up at the store, so I picked it up. And it's broken, but I picked it up anyway. And I have probably 6 versions of this thing at this point, but I picked it up anyway. It's a G1 Soundwave, but it's actually a cassette man.
Nice.
Huh.
So a G1 cassette man came in and I was like, oh God, I don't need another stinking Soundwave. And yeah, but I'm like, I got to get a cassette man. So on the back, he's missing all of his gear, which is going to be impossible to find. But he's broken. So if you can see there, part of his arm is busted and the actual top of the arm is actually busted too. So the whole arm just comes apart. What I need is another cassette man that's in broken condition, but the back is okay. He does have a cassette though, which is cool. And Cassette Man came with Ravage, but this Ravage is not Ravage. It's Cassette Panther or whatever the hell he was called. I don't know what they called him, but he's the Cassette Man version of Ravage. So yeah. Anywho,
would you want to get just like a Junker Soundwave to fix it, or is there a difference between that and the Cassette Man shoulders?
So I've thought about that, and if you can tell, I don't have a G1 Soundwave open right now. Maybe I do, actually.
Up there. No, to your left. Your other left. No, down.
I don't.
You should do a good 360 of your room, Daryl.
It's insane. This room is insane. The plastic for the main body here is actually darker. So it's a dark blue. So it wouldn't work. I know that there were some cassette mans that made it over to Hasbro and just kind of got the treatment, so they made it out. I'm gonna try and see if I can find something, but it's not likely. Yeah, honestly, I don't care. I just want the arm to be fine, but I really just want to keep it kind of in cassette deck mode, just because it could sit on a shelf and be like, is that a cassette? That's a cassette man. It is a cassette man. So, but I've got a Soundwave in its G1 box. It's like really nice. And I've got the reissue, like up there. I've got Soundwaves coming out my ass here. But this is not a Soundwave. It's a cassette man. So I'm happy with this. And yeah, it's kind of fun. So still buying broken toys over here.
Can only blame yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all for Trips to the Store. So let's continue on with the rest of the show.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
And yeah, it looks like we don't have any convention news or feedback this week, so we're gonna wrap it up right here. Thanks again to everyone for watching and listening this week. It's great to have a full crew back this week. And stay tuned for Transmissions Alt Mode coming in a couple of days because we have a special guest. The artist who did our exclusive Transmissions Transformers #1 cover, Mr. EJ Sue, is coming on Transmissions. So
Whoa.
check that out.
Do we have an air horn? Do we have the air?
That's not been hooked up in a long time.
And for good cause.
So, do you need me to do it again? I can do it.
You sound like a dying chicken. But this will be his first time on our show, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He is the original artist on the IDW Transformers comics and did the art on Last Spot Standing, the basically last original series in IDW comics. So he bookended all the IDW Transformers comics, doing the first and last Transformers series for IDW. So it'll be great to have him on and talk to him about his career and what he's doing now.
You can't see it, but Charles has a boner. Tell me I'm lying.
No comment. All right. So look forward to that. Transmissions Alt Mode this week is going to be fun. We're excited about it, and we can't wait for you guys to see it. All right. And of course, now we have Mike back for a little while, but we haven't had you on for a while, Mike. So is there anything you'd like to plug while we got you here, in addition to the Rustford Files?
Well, if you get some home improvement you're doing, you get an entire back catalog of Empire of Rust episodes that you can go through. No, Daryl. You don't have an excuse anymore. You get some renovations you're doing. Anyway, so go ahead and take a listen to Empire of Rust and take a listen to the Rustford Files. Matt is a really, really great GM, really cool person to lead us off. So yeah, go for that. And if you want to give me a follow on Instagram, it's at Minervion, MINERVION.
All right. And of course, at the end of every episode of Transmissions, we give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatrons. And these are the folks who continue to support us at our highest level on Patreon. So thank you once again to John 4X Lemongood and Demon Take 82. We really appreciate your support, and that's why we want to mention you in every episode. So thank you so much. And that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.